What's up, everyone? In this video, we're going to be looking at Bitcoin. A lot has happened in the past few days, so we're just going to try to decipher and dissect all the action that's gone down. And yeah, we'll just take a look at the charts, see where we've truly found our bottom. Is there a reversal point, or are we still looking at potential lower lows? If you like this content, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for that way you could get more technical analysis in the future. So let's go ahead and dive into the charts. So let's go ahead and look at the daily for Bitcoin here. Uh, as you can see, I have drawn out this kind of wedge that's occurring where we have a bottom line of support and still this resistance line that goes back to mid-June. Um, these last 2 days here on the daily have been pretty negative. As you can see, we had this attempt to break the resistance line and we got a rejection. And then after that point, it's just been downhill from there. There's been news stating that, um, a lot of this is due to the Delta variant of COVID. I'm not necessarily sure if that's really the case. I think what's happening here is essentially that we're not be able to break this, resistance line, and we don't have any support to hold us up. If you remember, we um, last week we broke through this support line. This is the support line that held this wick, held this wick, held these candles. And then once we broke through and weren't able to reclaim it as support, that was almost our last line of resistance. Or, I mean, last line of support, rather. Um, and now we are just kind of floating in no man's land, so to speak, where basically our next line of support would be this 28,732 level. So, since we're in that bearish downtrend and we're sitting in no man's land, you're going to see some pretty big candles. Now, with that being said, we still do have this, descending support line here, which has kind of held up prices on a downward trend. So there's definitely a potential for us to see some bounces back and forth here, where we're going like this. Now, could we potentially hit? Could we bounce off this? Why does it keep going white? Could we bounce off of this 28,732 level, see a trend up, and then potentially break out? That is possible. That's certainly possible. If we don't hold this level, we are potentially seeing a fall down to this 26.5 support line. And I'll show you why I believe that. Why do I think that this 26.5 is the next line of support? There's two reasons. First one that I've showed you before is on the 4-hour. Let me go ahead and switch this to a 4-hour chart here. On the 4-hour chart, when we were going up, when we were on our bull run back in the early part of 2021, we had a little point here where we saw some an impulsive wave come up and then a test of support, and that cluster of testing was right around this 26,500 level. That's the first indicator for why I think that this is going to be our next little our next area of support. There's also a second reason, and that has to deal with our Fibonacci retracement schematic here on our weekly chart. So if you look at our weekly chart here, if I can just kind of zoom in, you can see that right now the current price action is just below the 1.618 level at 29,890. So 29,890 is our 1618 level. And then our price right now is 29,776. Will we close below this on the weekly, or will we close above it? That is the question that remains. We have never closed below this level, though, on the daily. And that is a definite possibility for today. We have 5 hours and 30 minutes left, and we'll see if we close below this mark here. If that does happen, then that is why, and that is where I see the price action falling to the next Fibonacci retracement level, which is the 26,515. And that coincides with the 26,500 level where we had that bunching going on in the bull market run. So that is definitely going to be the next level of contention. Right now we're in a pretty big, decision period for the price. So, we're on this downtrend, and we're sitting on this downtrend. We're sitting right at a key level at 1.618 on the Fibonacci retracement. We have, if we go back to our other chart here, we have, a level of support here at the 28,732, a level of potential support at the 26,500. We have this descending wedge pattern. We're below all of our moving averages, as you can see here. So, I mean, at some point we're going to have to see a rebound, and I ultimately see that happening pretty soon, or at least, if not a rebound, an area where a break or a rebound has to happen in a big way. So the reason why I say that is for two reasons. Number one, as you can see from the beginning of the COVID crash back in early March 2020 to now, we have this ultimate trend line that is going up, and we're approaching it here. So you see, starting from early March, and we tapped it here in late September, and then we kind of got overextended from that trend line and we're tracing back to it. You can see that we're approaching this trend line. Now this trend line right now is hovering, if we touch it soon, it's going to be in that high 20s area, 28, 27, 29,000. If we break this trend line, our next level of support is, going to be one of our moving averages, or that 26.5 level. If that happens, you're going to see a long period of, of bearish trends, of bearish sentiment, because there's going to be just too many levels of resistance at that point to overcome, and it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of volume and a lot of, building up to break those levels of resistance. But I'm not saying that that's going to happen at all. In fact, this line meets, or it looks like it's almost in concert with our RSI upward trend on the weekly. Now let me go ahead and show you. I had, this line drawn out here, and this is on our weekly chart for Bitcoin. You can see that we're on a slight uptrend in terms of creating lower lows on the weekly. So you see here, let me go ahead and pull this down. This ultimately starts back in, December of 2018. We created a little high here, came back down, retraced. COVID happens. We have the dip here, but that low that we created on this dip was lower, or was higher than the previous low. Then we built from there, created our all-time high at the 64K mark, and then we've been going down ever since. Now, as you can see, if I zoom in, we're closely approaching that support line on the RSI. And it looks like that's or it looks like it's in, the same trend as our support line on the price action. If you see a bounce on that support line, that could be our catalyst to begin the reversal trend and the bullish, I guess the bullish trend to go forward and to create new all-time highs. If that is to happen, what is our next target? Well, as you can see here on our Fibonacci retracement level, The next target would be this 4.272 level at 73,800. Not saying that's going to happen anytime soon. Um, it just because we've reversed doesn't mean it's going to be, an automatic, V pattern straight up. It's going to probably take time to tackle all of the levels of resistance that we have created when we have fallen from our all-time high, and it may take months to get back up. But once we do, hit our new all-time, or once we pass the all-time high that we've created back in April, that is where the price is set free and you're in price discovery mode, and you could see the run to the 75K mark and then potentially to the 100K mark, and it could happen quicker in that sense. But in terms of the bullish reversal and trudging through the resistance levels where you're hitting prices that you've already been at before, like 45K, 50K, 55K, that's going to take much longer. Once you break out of all that, create the new all-time high, then you're in price discovery mode and you don't have any resistance above you. So um, that is, that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's still a waiting game, especially when you're waiting for bullish prices and you're in a bearish trend. You're going to be waiting. You're just going to be playing a waiting game. When is the price going to reverse? When is it? When are you going to start seeing some positivity? When are you going to start seeing an uptrend start happening? And when are you going to see the price respect a level of support and continue a positive uptrend? So that is kind of where we're at right now. Um, I will see you guys in either tomorrow or a few days, and we'll see what happens in the coming days for this price. But stay tuned, stay strong. Uh, this is just the nature of crypto. This is the nature of the markets. Um, when you're in this kind of downtrend, it's going to take a lot for you to break these prices. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to comment. I'm 100% available to answer any and all questions that you have about the price and what my personal opinions are on that. Um, so yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys later, and take it easy. Have a good one. Bye bye.